Congress appropriated $3.1 billion to the Secret Service for the current fiscal year, which was $265 million less than fiscal year 2023. Joining me now is Missouri Congressman Mark Alford. He's a member of the House Armed Services, Small Business, and Agriculture Committees. Congressman, thanks very much for being here this morning. Would you vote for additional funding for the Secret Service?
Look, Maria, I firmly believe we don't need to throw more money at the Secret Service. We need new leadership. I do believe that the Secret Service needs to be moved from Homeland Security, which has become really a political tool, I think, of this administration when you consider the biggest liar since Pinocchio is running Homeland Security, Mayorkas, right now. It needs to go back to Treasury. Chairman of the Small Business Committee, whom you know, Roger Williams, proposed this last year. Trump proposed it in his 2021 budget. It makes more sense under Treasury. We need a change of approach, tighten up the leadership, and protect our past and future presidents.
Look, you make very important points. I'll tell you right now, the people are sick and tired of the failure of accountability of Alejandro Mayorkas, okay? Mayorkas was in charge and is in charge of a wide-open border where 10 million illegals have come in. Many of them are not vetted at all. We've got 2 million gotaways. We've got massive, dangerous Venezuelan gangs running around America and intimidating everybody. Alejandro Mayorkas has yet to answer for any of this. And now we've got the Secret Service failures, also under Alejandro Mayorkas. You are an elected official. What are you doing about it?
Well, look, Maria, we impeached in the House Alejandro Mayorkas. The problem is Schumer and his Senate shenanigans. No one over there wants to do anything. They don't want to rein in Homeland Security. Mayorkas said from the very beginning there was no chaos at the border. We know there was chaos at the border. He tried to tell us that border agents were using whips on people. We know those weren't whips. I've ridden a horse for many years. That was a rein. But he never admits his mistake. He comes to Congress in his really arrogant tone and denies the truth and outright lies. It's time for him to go. Schumer won't do anything about it, but he won't do anything. We passed the H.R. 2, the Homeland Security bill. We sent it over there more than a year ago. They won't do anything.
I understand, but can you just keep saying he won't do anything about it? Is that it? I mean, the last time I checked, lying to Congress was a felony. You're telling me the chairman of Homeland Security, the director of Homeland Security, in charge of all of this stuff, the open border, Secret Service failures, et cetera, has come in front of your committees, has come in front of Congress and lied. Isn't that a felony? What are you doing about it?
It is. Well, when you have a Justice Department who is not going to go after justice in America and have a one-sided two-tier system of justice against President Trump and for this administration, I don't want to say our hands are tied, but we're running out of options. We have done our part. We have impeached Mayorkas. We have gone through regular order to do that. We have laid out the facts. We've got to get new leadership in the Senate. And Maria, this is why this election is the most consequential for the course of our nation that I have ever seen, not just for the White House, but increasing our majority in the U.S. House so we can actually get something done.
So
who's
overseeing the DOJ? Who's overseeing the DOJ?
Well, you have Attorney General who wanted to be a Supreme Court justice who was denied that opportunity, and I think rightfully so, by Mitch McConnell and those who did not see him as a fit member of the U.S. Supreme Court. So there are a lot of sour grapes and anger in this administration, and it's taking its toll on the American people.
It sure is. We're going to be watching all of this, and it's just outrageous that you've got an individual leading at the top of this here pyramid, Alejandro Mayorkas, overseeing the wide-open border that is impacting Americans left and right, and the Secret Service, which almost killed President Trump. These incidents almost killed President Trump and the Secret Service failures around them. And here's the guy overseeing it, and he's still just coming into Congress, as you're saying, lying about it. Well, we're going to have to keep the spotlight on Alejandro Mayorkas. I don't know where this is going, but this is just outrageous.
I'm tired of their games,
I do want to ask you about
Maria.
economics and agriculture, sir, while I have you. Experts are weighing just how different the economy and small business would look like under Trump versus Harris. So let's go through that. Trump is proposing no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, and his latest proposal, no tax on overtime. He's promising workers who clock more than 40 hours a week tax-free overtime income, which sounds to me like a good plan because you're really targeting the people who are the hardest working in our country. They're working more than 40 hours. Trump is focusing on lowering taxes and creating business-friendly practices overall. But Harris is proposing a $50,000 tax deduction for small business startups. That's a huge jump from the current $5,000 deduction. Harris says she wants the government to receive 25 million small business applications by 2025. Compare these two plans, and is this small business idea of lifting that to $50,000, that going to move the needle on anything? How do you get this economy out of where we are? Because we all know that if the Fed is considering a 50 basis point cut, we're in big trouble in terms of an economic slowdown. We know that.
We are, because you're exactly right, Maria. And this comes down to a shift in ideology or contrast in ideology. The Democrats and Harris want to give away everything. Look, I'm all for starting small businesses. I'm on the Small Business Committee. Small business is the fabric of America. This is not the way to go about it. It's to actually get the SBA out and doing their jobs in our districts, helping rural businesses in my district start new businesses and maintain them. Trump wants to give money back that the federal government has been holding on to. And these ideas that he's proposing, no tax on tips, no tax on overtimes, they are going to cost money. The latest proposal, I think, is $25 billion a year, the estimate that I looked at. But we can find that money. The most important thing, as you know, Maria, is renewing the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. If we don't do that under the leadership of Jason Smith, our chairman of Ways and Means, it's going to cost every family in America an average of $1,500 a year in an increase in taxes.
All right. We'll be watching all of it. Got a lot on your plate, Congressman. And, of course, you've got a budget deadline around the corner. Thanks very much for joining us, sir. Mark Alford.